First of all, shout out to the other Virgos out there. This is the best month of the year. Aw. Every time I post a video, I get like the sweetest comments from you, and like it literally makes my whole day. Like I don't think you know that the way the comments are timed out too, like when you guys comment, it actually ends up being at the moments I need them the most. So I just want to say I love you and thank you so much, because I just received a comment while filming and it made me feel so much better. My early 20s was a fucking like natural disaster. I would classify it as that. 10 life experiences that really transformed my early 20s. I think all of these things have to do with who I am today. All right, let's get on with it. Hello, my angels. Good morning. I have an iced oat milk latte from Happy Llama, and it has this like really pretty bee pollen and whipped honey on top. It's so good. I'm definitely gonna stop by here multiple times because I needed a cafe that was right next to the West Side Highway. Like, I love sitting out here in the mornings, and like, I hate when like you bring your coffee to go and it gets melted by the time you're there. You know what I mean? Wait, okay, I really like the lighting here. I've been trying 3 different times all weekend to try to film this video and nothing has worked out. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this and just leave it. It's a little warm. It's a little warm toned for my liking, but hopefully my outfit like cancels out. And you know, I'm like nervous filming this video because I've wanted to film it so many times, and like each time it hasn't worked out in a way that I'm happy about. But like, what I've realized is that you guys really like my just natural, like raw, unfiltered content. So I think I'm just gonna keep it rolling, because what I think are imperfections are actually what keeps you in my channel. Oh, I just scratched my forehead and now it's gonna be red. Okay, just ignore this. The first one is I went to an out-of-state school for college. And I know I was only 19, so it doesn't really count, but I'm telling you, this decision set me up for literally how the rest of my early 20s was playing out. It's so crazy to think about if I hadn't done that, where I would be. My whole family went to UMass Amherst, like a in-state school. And I was like, no, like I want something new. I want something different. Like I want a traditional American college experience. Like I wanted it to be like the movies. I wanted there to be Greek life. I wanted it to be a huge school with sporting events, lots of school spirit. I wanted it to have a gorgeous like campus. And I got all those things. I think that was the first real decision I acted on where I trusted the vision I had and I just kind of went for it. I am like so happy I did that, because I think it got me in the habit of like seeking clean slate starts. Like, if it's one thing about me, I love just going somewhere and starting fresh. Like, I did that when I went to Indiana. I did that when I went to Chicago. I did that when I went to New York. Like, I'm very much okay being in new environments where I don't know a single thing. I think, honestly, that's where I shine the most. So if you know that about you, you should 100% keep chasing those experiences, because I feel like that's where the most growth has come out of for me. Honestly think that was like one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. When I went to Indiana, I met so many different kinds of people. Literally so many different kinds of people. I'm not, like truly, in my freshman year of college dorm, I like saw someone unironically hang up like a Trump flag in his dorm room, because he genuinely was a supporter. And I did not know there were actual supporters for Trump. And like, there was someone else on my floor. I literally remember coming back from vacation and him being like, oh yeah, like it was really fun. Like me and my family we finally got to take the dirt bikes out in our backyard and just like ride around. And I was like, dirt bikes in your backyard? Like what? Like I straight up could not believe that some people were living like such a different life than I was. It truly was a culture shock. The thing is, when you put yourself in environments where people think differently, it challenges your own way of thinking. It reveals your biases. It questions what your beliefs are. It also made me like reinforce what mattered to me and what I actually stood for. Like, I truly don't think you have opportunities to really know what your opinions are until you're in situations that kind of call for that. It also gave me like a bigger sense of empathy, and compassion, because you start to understand why people are the way they are based on the way they grew up. It just gave me the ability to be more accepting of people that grew up differently than I did. Like, I actually met this one girl who's in my sorority, and she was so nice. But the one problem that she had was every single time, like, someone was into a guy, like, had a crush on somebody, the next day, even fucking the same day, she would go up and she would be seen talking to that guy at the bar. And we'd be like, why are you doing that? Like, literally, why? This is such a problem. Parents' Day would come around and we would meet her mom and you'd be like, holy shit. Now I understand why you are the way you are. Like, I didn't have a mom that was insecure and bullied me and was competitive of me. Like, I didn't grow up with that. And so I don't act like that. But, like, I now understand why people act like that if they do. A lot of it has to do with how they grew up. A lot of it has to do with what they were taught from their parents, or like what was normal to them. And like, I even met people who would be pregnant by senior year and married months after graduating. And like, this blew my mind because I was like, wait, what? Like, my normal is everyone going to grad school after college. I think I just learned that, like, it's okay if people grow up differently and have different values and goals as you do. Just because they want something different does not mean that they're wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong either. Yeah, I'm really grateful for my experience at school because it taught me a lot about just how people experience the world differently. I'm like literally not sure how I'm gonna fit all this into like a short video. I'm just already prepared for this to be like a 60-minute long video because I just have so much shit to say and like so much shit to say about it. All right, I'm gonna fucking finish this video. I was 21 years old when I studied abroad, and I was 23 when I took my first solo trip. I can't believe I was only 21 doing that. Like, holy shit. Me and my friends would travel to like a different country every single weekend. I was also going through like my first breakup. I am like really glad that I prioritized seeing the world at such a young age, because I think like every single iteration of me just like going to a new place really just expanded my mind. I don't know. I feel like seeing the world changed my life in such a way that like no other experience has the ability to replicate. It kind of goes back to like what I was saying about how I love putting myself in situations where I'm like clean slate starting. When I was studying abroad, I was just like with my friends, and like I learned the ins and outs of like Airbnbs, hotels, where to stay, how to navigate like the subway system. But like, I don't know, and like how being in each country like compares to other ones. When I decided to start solo traveling, that also helped me narrow down like what countries I would prefer, which ones I wanted to know more about. Okay, and then here's the other point that I really wanted to make. So when I saw other parts of the world, it forced me to be someone better. Like, it forced me to get more involved with life. I think the first time where I like really got exposure to like other cultures and other people and just like the way other societies work, I felt really small and uncultured and irrelevant and like naive. Like here I am like an American who just speaks English, not even her native tongue, exploring a country that she knows nothing about. Like, I remember when I was in Paris and we were just there for like a weekend, but I wasn't interested in like any of the arts, any of the museums, I couldn't even really speak the language, even though I took 3 years of French in middle school. Like, yeah, I knew so little about the world other than my own life, and I did not like that. It forced me to just like be someone different, be someone more interesting. I felt so uncultured. I needed more dimension to myself, and I think traveling the world really showed me that. Okay, it's interesting because I solo travel, and like when you solo travel, you're kind of in charge of your own time. Like, you're the one writing up your itinerary, you're the one looking up the different sightseeing, literally planning a trip for yourself. And so, interestingly enough, it's forced me to think about like what my interests are. Like, if I'm solo traveling in Italy, I'm signing up and doing things that I want to do. If I want to go to the beach and lay out all day, I'm going to go to the beach and lay out all day. I could do that for 7 days, but I'm not the kind of person that wants to do that for 7 straight days. Like, I made myself sign up for a boating experience to meet new people. I also made myself sign up for a cooking class. Like, reflecting on those experiences shows me like, okay, I like to experience the food of a culture, but I'm gonna seek out other experiences related to the culture's food. So sign up for things like hikes or like cultural tours or like museums. Like, I don't know. I feel like seeing the world has forced me to understand more about my own interests. And every time I solo travel, it's an opportunity for me to keep investing in those experiences. And then like it helps me apply that to my own life in the States. So like learning how to cook, like I want to take a pastry class, or like I want to go to a gallery opening, like, you know, like little things like that. And like growing up, not knowing what my interests are has been something I struggled with. So if that's something you relate with, I highly recommend traveling because it helps you understand what your interests are. I had my first boyfriend when I was 20 years old. I literally cannot believe I was 20 years old. I'm just gonna call him Andy. So I met Andy when I was 20, and we met because we were in like Greek life. So I was in a sorority and he was in the frat house like right across the street from us. And like we would always just like go out together, and I would stay over there all the time. Like it was just like a convenient relationship. Like that's as much, like it was what I thought a relationship was supposed to be like. But anyways, I won't get too much into that. We only dated for a year, but I think that relationship taught me so much about like how to act in a relationship, what my needs were, what I still needed to heal, and parts of me that weren't really ready for a relationship yet. I don't really know how to like talk about it without like getting so into it. Since that relationship, I've been like experimenting with dating. Like I used dating apps. I had casual flings here and there. And like, no matter how much turmoil every single one of those experiences gave me, I'm so happy they happened because they taught me so much more about myself and like what I need in a relationship. Like, I don't think you can figure out what your wants are until you actually do it. So I'm really glad that I did those things, and it's only set me up for a better dating life moving forward. Like every single time I meet someone, I learn more about myself. And I also get a lot better in like setting boundaries. If I didn't do any of those things, I would have known nothing about it. Even though I'm single right now, I think my dating life has been extremely successful because I've learned so much about myself and so much about what I need. Like I've been down the road before of what happens when you do settle for less or you compromise on your needs. Like, no. And so, I feel like this is literally the universe testing me right now. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I just need to get this done. I just need to get it done. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be done. Learning to put on muscle. Okay, I was 21 years old when I got my first trainer at the gym. And like, that is so crazy to think about because like, I was so young and like making these types of decisions for what? Oh my God. Okay, so I got into working out sometime in college. I must have been 20 when I got into working out. And it was because I made a friend in my sorority. Michaela, if you're watching this somehow, somewhere, I love you and I miss you a lot. You've done so much good to me. I met my friend Michaela in my sorority, and it was a coincidence because I think it was the day we had all moved into the sorority house, and I was looking for a printer. And someone was like, oh, I think Michaela has one. And her room ended up being like right around the corner. And we were talking, and she invited me to her birthday plans that weekend. And we quickly figured out that her birthday is the day right before mine. So after that, the rest was history. But we ended up just really bonding over just being gym buddies. And so she kind of showed me the ropes around like fitness and working out and helping me realize that as a priority in my life. So I like got really into working out at one point, and when I was abroad, I dumped my boyfriend, and I ended up just like funneling all of my time into working out. Like I literally was at the gym for like 3 hours a day, every day. And that's when I became a bodybuilder by accident and put on so much muscle. But like after like I learned how to like, you know, get the reps in and like after I learned how to like get the reps in, like eat the right proteins and like build muscle, I wanted to learn how to build my physique the way I wanted it. So like, even though I could put on muscle, I was like, well, I don't want none of my clothes to fit me anymore. Like, I still want to be lean and like look great and feel great. I just would prefer if maybe my quads were a little smaller. So like, I wanted to just learn that. And like, I also really wanted to learn how to like train safely. So I started to take it really seriously. And this was the summer where I was like making some money. I had like an internship before senior year, and I decided to spend all of it on a personal trainer for the summer. And I'm so glad that I did. That was such a beast move, because like, I learned how to train properly. I learned what exercises were good for me and like the kind of regimen that I needed to see the results that I wanted. So like, it taught me a lot about just like committing to a goal that I had and putting in the work to get the results I wanted. I think that was a really cool experience for a multitude of reasons. Like, yes, bone density is so important. Bone density is so important as you age. Being able to have all the foundational muscle on my body right now, and even though I'm taking breaks from working out here and there, knowing that my body will always have that because I trained for it is such a good feeling. I think it's helped me realize like where my physical health plays into my emotional and my mental health. So I think investing in like fitness is something I just want to continue doing in the future. Okay, wait, we're making some good progress. Okay. Fifth one. Move to a new city twice. I was 22 when I moved to Chicago, and I was 24 when I moved to New York. This one's crazy because I feel like that's like two really, really big life changes in a really short amount of time. I don't know who told me this, but it is said that moving is one of the most stressful life experiences that you could have. And it's true. I think even going to an out-of-state school is, because having to like buy all of your shit, put it in storage, sell all of it, transport it from state to state. But anyways, again, it goes back to my point about how I crave like clean slate starts. Living in new cities teaches you about the kind of environment you need to thrive in. And I think it helps clarify what's important to you. So like, I talked a little bit about this in a different video, but every city has a personality, and every city also has its own message. So there's this one article that I read, which was a turning point in helping me decide that like New York was the city for me. Every city has its own personality, and it has its own like nucleus that attracts the people that live in it. When I was in Chicago, I literally thought I was crazy for not loving where I was. Because like, yes, it was such an amazing city, and like I wanted to like it. There were so many things that I liked about it, but I just wasn't fucking with it, you know? And it's because the values are different in every single city. Like you can, like I guarantee you, like if I were a startup entrepreneur, I would have a way different experience living in Boston versus Chicago versus San Francisco. Like, which city do you think I'd have the best time in? San Francisco. It's because living in the right city is so important. When I moved from Chicago to New York, it kind of proved itself. It just continued to prove itself because I felt so much more alive here. Like, I think being in a city that attracts so many like-minded, ambitious, creative, diverse people was like my lifeline. Like, I needed to know that there were other people out there like me. I needed to know that there are other people who are chasing after goals that haven't realized yet, and that it's okay to invest everything that you are into getting what you desire. Aww. Someone's asking me what book I'm reading. I might take that as a sign to keep going. Yeah, I think moving to different cities, it just made me realize the impact of my environment on my own growth. So I'm so glad that I did that. And like each experience has been super different so far. And like also being able to say you lived in another city for a couple years is awesome. Like it's nice. It makes me feel more nuanced, and it gives me a lot more to talk on. I met someone at the park the other day. I haven't messaged her back yet, but I met someone and she went to school in Northwestern, and I was like, oh my God, I was in Chicago for 2 years. And like we hit it off, and now we're friends, and now we're gonna text and meet up for coffee or dinner or something. And like, who knows where that connection's gonna go? Like, it's never a bad thing to have more experiences under your belt, especially living in different cities. It teaches you so much. And also now I know how to move by myself, so I can do anything. Number 6, living alone. I was 23 when I lived in a studio. So this was when I was in Chicago. And this was, I was 22. Holy shit, I was young. If I could rank all of these in order of like best experiences, this probably makes it to like top 3. I am so grateful that I lived alone for 2 years. Holy F. I learned how to just like be my own best friend. Like, who are you when it's just you and yourself? What do you spend your time on when no one's there to tell you what the plans are or asking you what you want to do this weekend? Like, living alone taught me so much about holding my own, being my own, and getting to know like my quirks, my tendencies, what triggers me, what I need to work on, what parts about myself I want to change. Like, it just taught me so much about being comfortable in my own presence that I sincerely do not think there is any other way I could have done it. I just feel like when you know that there's someone else in the presence of where you're living, your like dialogue's not fully gonna feel safe to come out when someone's around. And like that's why you hear people say like, oh, it's so nice, like I get the apartment to myself for the weekend. And it's because like you fully have like the freedom and the safety to just kind of like roam around and like be your true self. So I think living alone like gave me that for 2 years. And in that time, I was able to learn so much about like who I was. Oh, so it makes me smile. I was 23 years old when I started this YouTube channel. And like, that just makes me smile so big talking about. I have come such a long way. I've changed so much from my first video to my 47th video. Wow, 47 videos. I can't even believe I can say that. This was like one of like the fundamental ways I acted on this creative itch that I had. So like at that time in my life, I was so dissatisfied with what I was doing. I think I was only a couple months into my corporate job and I was like, this fucking sucks. I hate it. And to think about doing this for the rest of my life has me freaking out. Like I do not want this for myself and like I don't know what to do. And I remember like staying up all night being like, how do I know what I want to do with my life? Like, what do I do? And I came across this like one video by Lavender. She's one of my favorites. I'll link it below. But one of the things that she said was like, you have to try everything. And so when I started this YouTube channel, this was like my Hail Mary. I was like, I fucking tried blogging. I've tried podcasting. I've tried making websites. Like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the thing that I've always been beating around the bush about. I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so glad that I did that. It's changed my life in so many ways. It was an act of self-trust. Like I truly did this not knowing where it was going to go, and I still don't know where it's going to go. But I finally just did something about how unsatisfied I was with my life, and it ended up working out, and it is continuing to. So over time, making videos has clarified as being one of my greatest passions in life. And like, I don't know, I feel like when you bet on yourself and something comes out of it, that's a whole different kind of joy. It's a whole different sense of achievement. And I'm really happy that I had the balls to actually do it. Like I was talking to someone the other day and he was like, if you can film yourself in public and post anything you want on the internet, you can do anything. I was like, honestly, you're right. Like, what am I scared about? Truly a life-changing decision, because when I think about the other decisions I've made in life, like so many of them have built off of me deciding to make this channel. Like investing in different makeup that I want to try, or going through with the second solo trip, or moving to New York City, or investing in a co-working space, which is my next one. I think creating my own YouTube channel, it's given me so much confidence in being more of myself, being who I want to be in acting on the experiences I want in life. Yeah. This one's a little bit different, but learning how to use ChatGPT. So I think I was 24 when I had a conversation with my mentor about AI. And like, we talk about like these kinds of things all the time, like where the world's going and stuff. He's super into like technology and like startup founder, you know, that kind of mindset. When we're talking about it, I just had such a distaste for like ChatGPT, Gemini, like all of these different tools. Because I was like, this is so dumb. Like, what's the point? Like, it seems so stupid. It feels like disingenuous. I was always someone in school who didn't really like to cheat. It's just like off-brand for me. I don't like doing that. And so AI kind of felt like the efficiency he would get when cheating on an exam. Do you know what I mean? He could tell I was kind of against it. And he was like, AI is changing our society whether you like it or not. And if that's the case, you have the opportunity to think about it in a way where it can help you and not hurt you. And so if right now all you're thinking about is, okay, like this is stupid, like it's not going to do anything for me, it's going to hurt you. But if you think about it in a way where it's like, wait, how can I use this thing that is literally changing our society in a way that benefits me? I learned to see it as a tool that could help me get to where I wanted to go quicker. And it's true. It's crazy. Like AI can do so much now. It's literally changing the way we do things. It's changing the way we think about stuff. Like if I was sitting here and telling you that I don't use ChatGPT for anything, I'd be lying to your face. It has helped me become so much more self-aware, smarter with my time. It's helped me reflect on experiences in my relationships, in my dating life, in my personal style, in my YouTube channel, in learning how to get on the right side of something changing society, I think is a really, really important skill to have. And I'm really glad that I learned how to do that. Because it's not just like, it just applies to ChatGPT. Like, no, it's the mindset I think I got from it. Assessing a situation for what it is. If this is a situation that's happening, it's gonna stay. What can I do? And not just looking at it in a really negative way that hurts me. It's helped me apply this mindset of how can this situation work for me? The 9th one, stopped the birth control pill. So I was 24 when I decided to stop my birth control pill. And this one is kind of crazy because it literally has a direct impact in how I experience life. Like straight up how I experience the day-to-day because it's hormones in my body. I think I was 18 when I first started, and this is something that me and my mom got into a huge, huge fight about. And I understand why now, and I wish someone just knocked me over the head with something and told me like what was up, because she was right. She's always right. I didn't realize the impacts the birth control pill actually had on me. Like, I decided to go on it for my skin and, like, you know, just for birth control, birth control as it is. But the main issue I wanted to target was my skin. I was so insecure with my acne coming off of it. I don't know if this is also just, like, my whole life changing in the last year. But I stopped in, like, January. It's September now. I stopped in January or February. I haven't felt anxiety once. Like, straight up once. Like, I feel it sometimes, but, like, not nearly in the same way as I used to experience it, and that's huge. As I, like, started diving deeper into, like, how the birth control pill, like, affects you, it literally affects it literally impacts who you think is attractive. And I was like, okay, I cannot be, like, tricking myself into thinking people are attractive. I need to just straight up see the world for what it is. I basically, like, went on a whole bunch of research. I'll attach some, like, videos or like studies that like I was looking into that like really helped me learn about this. It also impacted like how much muscle I was putting on at the gym. It also just like refined a focus in like understanding what I'm putting in my body and like how it affects me. So that's a big one. And then the last one, fucking finally, joining a coworking space. Okay, this is like the most recent one, and I was 24 when I decided to join a coworking space. And this place is like $400 a month. It's super expensive. And I'm living like in New York City on my entry-level salary that's still from Chicago. it's a big chunk of my paycheck, but it has literally done wonders to my day-to-day. It's added so much structure into my life. It has also changed the way that I show up to my content creation as a career instead of just a hobby. I think after realizing that my environment really shapes the way that I work, making this decision was kind of me just like betting on myself and just like trusting that I know what's best for my environment and what's best for my growth. I couldn't be more proud. The first day that I was there, I just bought like a day pass just to like test it out and see if I liked it or not. I literally left being like, I want this to be my everyday. Like, I just felt so good. I felt so productive. I felt so happy with how I was showing up. And I was just so excited for what was to come out of this. It also forced me how to budget. Like, budgeting has always been an issue for me, and it still is. But I think when you have something you're actively working towards or saving for, it makes budgeting so much easier. Like, it actually gives me like set guidelines. It anchors the rest of my finances, I guess. So if that's something that you're also struggling with, I mean, just take it from me. This is what has worked for me. I think this is also going to play into a role with like how I manage my finances. So that's great. Like, there's no greater motivator than fear. So, and then also like, I think taking a chance and betting on yourself develops so much self-trust and confidence because it reinforces like the commitment that you have with yourself, and like actualizing your goals. I think when you see yourself physically investing in your goals, it like holds you to a higher standard in achieving them. Kind of like, you know, when I would actively work out, I would buy like the cutest sets from Lululemon because I was like, okay, well, if I buy this, like I'm gonna want to use it at the gym all the time. And like, it's a very real motivator. It's a very real thing. So I guess that's just the way it looks for me in my like professional life. And yeah, wow. Okay. I finally got through all of that. And it took, well, I was kind of expecting it to take this long amidst all of the distractions and moments where I was overstimulated. I fucking finally did it. And I'm going to hope this turns out well. There were many moments I wanted to stop recording and just give up and go. But I think reminding myself to like look at the fear as part of this creation process and working through it is only going to help like prune me into doing it better in the future. Because like, this is part of content creation that I can't avoid. Like, I have to sit down with myself and like learn how to do things. So, you know what? I'm going to make a commitment to myself. I show up for myself. I show up for you. You guys continue to show up for me every single time, multiple times during this video. So doing this, I think, is the best thing I could have done. And I'm really, really happy. I'm really proud of myself. Yeah.